So, in class we watched a movie called The Hurt Locker, which is a war movie that centers in Iraq and follows the members of
Bravo Company, which had spectacular adventures in, I think it was Iran they were in? Or was it Iraq? Iraq.
Yeah, and they are a bomb defusal squad. So they're the guys that go in there and they try to either defuse a bomb or blow it up safely.
And without hurting anyone, the camera shots in the angles, I'm pretty sure they actually used real C4.
Yeah, I was actually looking at like the IMDb and they definitely used a lot of real explosives and real props.
It was a really interesting movie though, like, you know the guy's relationship with that little boy?
Yeah, Beckham.
Beckham? He mistook Beckham for another kid.
Yeah, he got racist when another kid died. That was a fault in the character. I thought that was interesting.
And Beckham, that little kid, turned out not to be dead. He turned out to live and... What was it? He just sold CDs and the guy didn't like it?
Porno DVDs.
Oh, porno DVDs, right.
Fun time.
That was an interesting part of the movie.
But this movie, being about bomb defusal, is extremely tense. Like every single moment you're worried about who's gonna die.
You don't know who's gonna die. The first scene of the movie, the main diffuser guy dies, so that basically takes away that no one's gonna die, all heroes will live. He gets killed in a second.
Yeah, that first scene has some of the coolest shots I've seen in a long time where when the explosion goes off, you get to see in slow motion, in perfect clarity, what the explosion does to the environment, like what it does to a car nearby, the dust, and of course, what it does to the guy in the suit.
They also do like a whole bunch of old Penny helicopter shots around. They also use a whole bunch of different camera angles from everywhere. I like the shaky camera when they run. When they're running infiltrating buildings, they use shaky camera like you're following the guy over your shoulder.
Yeah, because it's not perfectly still when you're running into a building with a gun.
No, it was really shaky, seemed pretty realistic. Pretty great part, had an effect.
Yeah, this movie's extremely realistic. It is kind of dark at parts, although it does have its comedy moments, which are mostly brought on by the team's main defusal guy. I think his name was Nick James.
Nick James? Nick kind of sounds right. Not quite sure about that, but...
He was basically like he was a wild card. He was very reckless whenever he was doing something, and he
loved the adrenaline rush. He always loved to go in. One scene, they actually went out of their way to go hunt people down and got his friend shot. Actually, he shot his friend.
Yeah, that's not a fun time.
No. And the plot line for this movie, it was spectacular.
Yeah, it's basically the Bravo Company trying to survive their last pretty much 2 months of being in rotation, and it's like one of the most action-filled 2 months ever.
They're bombed everywhere, they're trying to get bomb parts. The bomb parts actually really looks, like those props of the bombs kind of realistic, kind of like they are from Radio Shack, but they were really good.
Well, they were IEDs, which is improvised, so
yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they just went out and just got whatever they could find out, like wires and stuff. But for me, as far as the props go, the bomb suit was amazing. It was absolutely amazing because it was huge, and you get to see like the actors setting it up on another actor, and you get to see how they move inside the bomb suit. You can tell like it's very hot and very kind of claustrophobic in there, and what they have to work with.
I like the guns though. The guns are realistic. Like in CIA, they look kind of realistic, but they're actually just rubber. And this one looked like they were full of metal with all the attachment, the sights, the batteries, the full like suits that they had. They were like not the bomber one, but the actual military suits. Like they had the pouches, the vests, the bulletproof armor. Looked like
it's all the badges. Yeah, it was.
And like the comm system and everything.
Yeah, with the guns too. It wasn't full-out action flick. When you shot someone, there was no guarantee that they would die. It was like during a firefight, it was chaos, and you just hope that you get your target.
You had no idea who was going to get shot. You didn't know who was going to win the fight.
Yeah,
It was always amazing.
it was really immersive.
Also, like the what's it called, dialogue, the
Yeah.
speaking of the film, it was very clear in some parts. And when some bombs went off, I think some ringtones like try to blur out the voices.
Yeah,
I think that was a pretty neat effect.
yeah. All the actors did a really good job. There was no one that I was like, oh, they could have done a better job. I think they all did a really good job playing their characters.
Yeah,
And
dude.
like at a part of the movie, Sanborn, which is pretty much one of the Bravo guys, he starts breaking up into tears about whether he's going to live. And
He actually looked really
Yeah.
realistic.
yeah, I felt really bad for him. It was a really, really great job.
Yeah, he actually had the passion, the hate in his
Yeah.
eyes, but what he was going to do with the other guy, and how his trust and care with the other one.
Yeah,
Like, I forget what he was. The specialist was the one who got shot,
yeah.
and
the
the
femur, yeah.
femur. And who was his best friend again?
His best friend wasn't his best friend. It was his kind of psychologist.
The psychologist, yes. And the other guy decided to go in the field with him. Other guy got blown up.
Yeah,
Didn't know I didn't see that coming actually. Well, I like this movie. I give it the
Yeah,
tip of the hat.
I thought this movie was an absolute blast, pun intended. Too bad about those guys that died in the blast, but to make a good movie.
I give it the tip of the hat. What do you give it? What do you?
Yeah, 8 out of 10, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.